Hi friends, I hope you're doing great. Now, there is a comment that has ignited this type of a video. And on that comment, a subscriber wanted me to do some videos explaining different terminologies used in the DV program. And there is quite a number of those terms that I'm supposed to discuss. So before I do this video and tackle the terminologies for today, I want to request you all that any term that you don't understand clearly in the DV lottery program, comment about it below and let me know which term do you want me to discuss and expound on regarding the diversity visa. But in this video, I want to handle the exact comment, the terms that were in that comment, and let me explain clearly what they mean. And the three terms that I want to distinguish here are AP. What does AP mean? The second one is 221G visa refusal. What is the difference between AP and 221G visa refusal? And the third term that I will discuss on this video is visa refused. I know in a former video I discussed to some extent about these terms, but let's bring all of them together and know the difference in them. I will begin with AP. AP in full means administrative processing. So when you check for your CAC status, your visa status on the CAC website, and you find the status AP, in full it is administrative processing. And what does it mean? AP or administrative processing simply stands for when your visa process is being handled by the officials at the embassy in the process of completing your visa and then sending back to you after you've gone through an interview successfully. So, when you attend the interview and the consular tells you that your visa has been approved, then you need to leave your passport back for them to stamp the visa and then afterwards send those passports to you. That process from the time your visa is approved to the time they are stamping it and then they process it to send it to you. That whole process, we say it is AP, administrative processing. The officials are working on your visa to make it ready and send it back to you. That is simply what AP stands for. So it involves the officials going through your visa to process it, stamp it, and give it to you. And now we come to the 221G visa refusal. The 221G visa refusal is not a permanent visa denial. It is not. In simple terms, 221G visa refusal, when you're put under 221G visa refusal, the consular officer will then go ahead and provide you with a document outlining some missing information on your case that you are supposed to provide. And once you provide those information, then they can sit down, go through your case, review your case, and decide whether to approve your visa or to deny your visa. So 221G visa refusal is not a permanent denial. I can call it's a temporary suspension of your visa process for you to provide extra information that is needed for them to review your case to consider you for a visa or not for a visa. And what causes the 221G visa refusal? There are many causes, but before I discuss these causes, remember that when you're placed on the 221G visa refusal, there is no a visa attached to you, lying in wait for your case to be reviewed. No, the visa that was supposed to be issued to you if you were successful goes back to the spool and it is ready for any other person to take it if they are successful. So there is no a visa guaranteed when you're put on the 221G. And then let's come back to the causes. One major cause of the 221G visa refusal is lack of enough documentation to your case. The information that you provided, you are required to provide a document to prove it. If you come without all the documents that are required, then you will be put to 221G visa refusal until you provide those documents. So the major cause is lack of the documentation. A good example is if you indicated your level of education to be university degree, and in real sense, at that time of the interview, you've not gotten your certificate, then how will you prove to them? You will be put to 221G visa refusal until you get that certificate and present it to the embassy. Another good example is failure to provide enough evidence that you are able to sustain yourself as you begin life in the United States, at least for the majority of the embassies. And that's why they request for the Form I-134 or alternatively a bank statement showing your savings that can help you start life in the US. And you'll find people that don't provide the affidavit of support, they are put to 221G visa refusal until they provide this document. Another example is when your medical examination comes late. Maybe by the time you're coming to the visa interview, your medical examination is not ready. And therefore, you'll go through the interview, but be put on the 221G visa refusal until the medical examination report comes to the embassy. Those are just some of the few regarding the documentation. The second thing that can cause the 221G visa refusal is when the embassy or the consulates feel that they need to do some further background check on you. And a very good example is if you come from a country that is prone to a lot of terrorism, or your name coincides with a name that is on the wanted list, for example, then you will have to be put on further security checks. They'll have to request for some time for them to do the security check. They may even go ahead to consult with Washington to review your background in terms of security. So if you're coming from such type of a country, then they need to do some further background check, and therefore your case will be put on hold as they conduct the background check. Another good example is if you applied using your parents' country of chargeability, then, like for a case that I will post here and you'll see, they will have to really prove that your parents, they were born in that country, and at the time of your birth, they were away on this new country, and therefore none of your parents is a citizen or a permanent resident of this country where you were born. So if they want to prove the chargeability that you selected, that is based on your parents' country of birth, they will put you to 221G visa refusal, and they check to confirm that it is true. Now, those are just some few examples on the further background check. And the third one that I will discuss, and this might be the last course of the 221G visa refusal, is document verification. And to be specific, your academic documents. Let's say, for example, you don't take your interview from your country of birth. Maybe you did it from a different embassy. Remember that your education system is completely different from that country in which you're taking your interview. And therefore, that country might not be well conversant with your education system. And therefore, the documents that you provide might not be clear to them. So what do? Once you presented your academic documents, then they will put you to 221G visa refusal as they send requests to your country to get the clear academic system of your country, for them to gauge the documents that you've brought to see if they can approve your visa. So that process of requesting your country for the verification of your documents and everything then leads you to 221G visa refusal, and you will stay there until they are able to establish what your academic system is and whether your academic documents are valid and relevant. So those are just some few things that cause the 221G visa refusal. Now, let's come to the final term, and then later on we shall compare all of them. The final term is refused. And when you check your status and get refused, should you get worried? First of all, let's look at this. Refused means you have been denied a visa. They have rejected your visa application. So you don't have your visa. You've gone through the interview, and due to one reason or the other, they have seen it good that they don't issue you with a visa. And one major cause of the visa refusal is fraud. At any moment, the embassy or the United States government realizes that you are lying, you are providing fraudulent information, that is a definite visa refused. You will be refused the visa. And sometimes the visa refusal might be permanent, and that is to mean never at one point will you be allowed to step in the United States. Now, let's compare the three. AP, that is a visa approved, and it is now being processed for it to be sent back to you for you to continue with your journey. 221G visa refusal is a state of hold on your case as they get or they try to get further information from you. And visa refused, it's a total visa denial. Total visa denial. So when you are under 221G visa refusal, once they are through with going through your case, if they find that the information is true and you've provided everything, then they'll give you your visa. Now, let's understand this scenario. You've gone through your interview successfully, and then you check your status and it indicates refused. And maybe you are told that your visa has been approved. Then that should not cause any worry on you. because sometimes it behaves that way, but it does not mean that your visa was refused. If you are put on 221G visa refusal, the status on the CAC website of your case will be refused. It will read refused, and that should not cause a cold spine. That should not cause any worry. It will stay refused, and then once they approve, after they have gone through your case, then it will change to visa issued. So when you get that information there, don't get confused. It happens so. And if your visa has been approved, then when you check your CAC status, then you'll see AP, and that simply means they are stamping your visa on the passport, and once they are ready, they'll send it to you. I hope I've clarified on the three terms. So once again, list down on the comment of all the terms that you want me to clarify on to make you understand them well. So thank you guys for sticking around and watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not, like the video, and if you can, support the channel. And let's meet in the next video.